What's going on, everybody? Pete with Auto Repair Tips. In this video, I got a 99 Ford F350 with a power steering leak. It's got the HydroBoost system. So in this video, that's what we're doing. Replacing a power steering line on a HydroBoost system. Let's get into it. All right, someone's got an aftermarket breather assembly in this thing. So we'll get that out of the way first. I'm not a big fan of the aftermarket systems like this. It's already loose. Half the time people put these things on there, they don't even put them in correctly. They leave things loose, and what happens is it causes all kinds of problems. They think they're enhancing their performance, but really they're messing it up. Let's see here. All right, looks like it's bolted to the box here. Now, do they have this mounted in? All right, looks like they got it bolted to the battery tray. So let's get that out of the way. Can't see where it's locked in at the bottom. I guess we'll go ahead and take this out here. Might be something down through here. Once I get this out of the way, we kind of looked at it the other day, and well, my brother looked at it and said it was one of the lines right off the HydroBoost. So when I get this out here, we'll I'll put a little bit of fluid in it, and we'll get a better view of what's actually leaking on this thing. Alright, got a big old train coming through. Alright, right inside here. Yeah, what they've got is they've got two bolts down inside here. It looks like going into the tray, battery tray. Gotta remove the damn battery. Woo! That's why you remove the negative side first, like in one of my last videos, so you don't do that kind of crap. That's what I get for going 100 miles an hour, right? Blown up, sir. Sure did. They put two damn, one here and one here. This aftermarket crap ain't going nowhere. We got it bolted in better than the damn fender. Holy crap. You're kidding me, right? You actually got to go in through the intake to get to some of these bolts. Who in the hell thought of this design? It looks like you'll take this half. Not too long. That train don't last too long. All right, so there's going to be 3 bolts on the back side, then we'll take it out. And then in this one here, there's 1 bolt going through here you have to get out. But they're making you doing it like this separately, I guess, so. All right, make sure before you pull it out, there's the air temperature sensor right on the back side here. So once we get this out of the way, this one can stay. I don't need to get this out of the way, but I can see the line right there. I'll get you a better view in a second. I'm gonna get, well, I guess I need to go ahead and get it out because I want to get this intake hose off also. One thing I'll give him credit for, it was definitely secure. It wasn't going anywhere. So now we'll take this one off and then I'll be able to get to the line. We should be able to see exactly what you're leaking after I do that. And actually, that was the hardest, probably gonna be, I say the hardest part of the whole job, but I probably just jinxed myself. You know how that goes, right? All right, let's get that off. It's quiet in the shop today. I'm the only one here. You got one guy, the doctor, one guy out sick, another guy on the road. Sometimes it's kind of nice just to be quiet by yourself. Although we don't make much money more by ourselves, you know. What size is that? These clamps are an 11, or at least that's what I'm using. Boom shagalaga. 1 tube out the way. Cannot believe I left one of these lights in someone's car. Now I've got to get me another one. From the looks of it, it's going to be one of these 2 here, but they're actually rubbing each other. I mean, it is legit up against the dam. We ain't got much in there, do we? That whole line is loose. I say it's loose. I think it just locks in, to be honest with you. All right, we got it separate now. I'm going to start her up and let's see which one's leaking. This one here might be this one here. This is off the gearbox. I think it's gonna be the one off the gearbox, to be honest with you. I ought to just replace both of them while I'm here because both of them look old. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Looking at it, this one here looks like the bad one. And what you got is, in this HydroBoost system, let me show you what you got. Let me show you what you got. So in this HydroBoost system, there's a line coming off the pump, and that line goes right up here to the left side of the HydroBoost system, right there. There's another line that comes off this side of the HydroBoost system, and goes all the way down, and that goes to the gearbox. So if you look right here, you can see this one is saturated on the bottom side. It's just coated. So we know that's the one that's leaking. So we're going to replace both these hoses because this truck has 300 and some thousand miles on it, and they look to be original. And it is definitely, it's a construction truck. The guy works with the truck, so you know, you don't want him. It's a friend of mine, Trinity Contractors. He's in the 757 area code. There's his phone number. Anybody needs any construction in the 757 area code, look him up. He's freaking awesome. That being said, let me go ahead and get some lines ordered. I'll give you the part numbers. We'll get them on the car and get this job out the door. All right, we just got the lines in. They're from Napa. One part number is a 73506. This one goes from the gearbox to the HydroBoost. The other part number is a 73435. This one goes from the pump to the HydroBoost. So the one that goes from the pump to the HydroBoost, there's no O-ring on that one. The one that goes from the gearbox to the HydroBoost, this side is not going to have an O-ring with it, but on this side here, you'll put an O-ring right here. All right, parts came from Napa. Napa is not a sponsor of this video. We're just using their parts. All right, I'm going to start with the easier hose first, the one off the power steering pump. And it's an American, believe it or not, it's 11/16. You don't see too many American sizes, but that's what it is. I don't think there's any fluid in enough to, no, could be a little bit. Let me drain some of this fluid out. Now we're going to start by draining some of the fluid out because I don't want it to come out when I take that fitting off. And when you're done, don't reuse the fluid. Put new fluid in your car. All right, that should be enough. All right, it's a 11/16. Even if you drain some out, no matter what, you're going to end up losing just a little bit. It's going to come out. It's going to come out somewhere, that's for damn sure. Let's see, this line is this one here, right here. Let me get something to hold that one there. We're going to take a guess and say 3/4. Ooh, just a little off. Let me guess, that one will be metric, right? That's how it normally works. Half American, half metric. All right, it's a 13/16. All right, we got a 13/16 is the securing the back side of it. You want to make sure you hold that so you don't twist the line. And we're going to, holy crap, break it apart. That wrench dropped, hit the ground, and went all the way to the middle of the truck. Well, you can see who's not going to play the lottery tonight. So the camera cut off. I'm not sure where I lost you guys at, but the next thing I'm going to take off is the line going to the gearbox, and that is a 5/8 at the bottom. And I couldn't get it started, so I had to shoot some penetrating oil down there to get it started, and finally got it loose, and now we're just turning a half a thread at a time because it is turning slow. You really need to move the other line to get to it correctly, which I really don't want to do. Hold on a second. Let me see something here. So let's get this line out of the way. Or at least I could turn it if I get it loose. So the other line, what I'm gonna do is I got it loose just a little bit. You don't gotta take it out. And then I was able to turn it out of the way so I could get a better bite on this other line. Half a turn at a time. Patience, patience. One thing about doing mechanic work, if you're gonna do mechanic work, you gotta have lots of patience. Sometimes things just seem to aggravate the hell out of you, but you just gotta work with it. Tell you what, leaning over this fender like this, holy crap, you can tell I put on a few pounds. Haven't been able to hit the gym like I used to. We've been doing a lot of volleyball with my daughter. She's on the travel team, and they've been traveling a lot. And my wife, she can cook her ass off. She says she can't, but she can cook. Cooks like her mama used to cook. And you know, me being Italian, I like my pastas, I like my carbs. Actually, I like all kinds of food. It don't really matter what the hell I eat. Jeez Louise. It is legitly a thread at a time. My brother keeps coming out here and turning the damn heat on. It's like 95 freaking degrees. Okay, back up here, it's gonna be 11/16 and a 3/4. These damn lines are stiff. All right, this line is done. This was the one, I think, the culprit that was leaking real bad. If you look on the bottom side right there, you can see it was spewing out right there. Off with the gloves. Only one side gets an O-ring. That's the one going to go into the gearbox. And it's a smaller fitting. And I'm pretty sure I know why they made it a smaller fitting, because getting the wrench on the bigger one was a little bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, but it's definitely doable. But this one here is smaller, so it's not so bad. One trick is when you're doing these, start them. So after you get it started, come on, start. Do not tighten them up all the way. Leave them loose. That way, when you're sitting here messing with it, you can move this hose in different positions. So I've got some bad news and good news. It's kind of, I'm not going to disclose it in this video, but if you want to hear what it is, like and subscribe. For those of you who've been following me, it's kind of good news. It's sad news for me, but it's good news, and overall good news. It's going to be a good thing. But we will disclose it in future videos. Leave a comment if you think you might know what it is. Again, going back with this smaller nut, it definitely makes a difference. It's like night and day putting it on. So that, to me, whoever changed the design did a good job. I'm not sure if the factory does it this way, or is it just the aftermarket people, but I've had real good luck lately buying stuff from Napa on especially power steering lines and stuff. They've had the better fit. I tried our rallies. I did a job yesterday. Believe it or not, it was a same kind of car. Well, it wasn't the same kind of car, but it was the same kind of system. It had the HydroBoost, and legitly, I went through three aftermarket BS lines from my rallies and could not get anything to fit correctly. And I called Napa, and the girl been working there. She's been doing parts as long as I've been doing cars. She hooked me up and sent me what I needed, and it was a good fit. So when I came to this truck here, I went ahead and went with Napa, because I am not going through that again. Certain things on certain aftermarket people, certain parts, it's funny how certain parts from vendor to vendor could have the same damn packaging, but fit differently. We almost got this. Very close. Yes. Napa's a little bit more pricier, but I think the lines are, their shit fits better. All right, the bottom one, make sure you get a good and tight position. This where you want it, then snug it down, because once it's tight, you're not going to be able to move it. I guess this one must be a swivel all the time. Didn't think it was, but I guess it doesn't tighten up all the way. This one must have to flex the truck, I'm guessing, because it didn't tighten up all the way. So, but looking at the fitting, I guess that's what it does. I was thinking it was all the way tight. All right, that's one line. I need a drink of water. All right, now for the so-called easy one. The line is going to go under this wiring like this. This is going to go, and these things turn like shit. So you're gonna have, if you can get a thread started, just get a thread started on it with a few turns, and then get the other one hooked up. They're really tight, and I get it. They got to be tight, because, like I say, at first I was thinking this one was going to be secure when you do it, but it turns out it kind of floats in there a little bit. All right, so this one here started. Yay! And we'll get this one started. So my daughter is in the 8th grade, and she has a 8th grade banquet tonight. Cannot believe she's in the 8th grade. Unreal how time flies. So for those of you who don't know, we had her later in life. And all my other kids, they were one in college, one in high school, one about to graduate. And it got kind of boring around the house, because all the kids were growing up. You sit there all your life, you've done things with your family, whether it be ball or coach them this or do this or run here. And they were all driving, and I'd sit home on weekends and drink beer with the dog. And told my wife, I said, this is boring. And lo and behold, we had another kid. Life ain't boring no more. It was funny, I had some friends of mine, and oh God, they gave me the hardest time, you know. Ah, you're having a kid, you're gonna be in a wheelchair when it's in high school. I'm going, well, probably so. But his wife is a news announcer for one of the stations around here. And oh God, they joked us heavily. And they were the same age as us. And a year later, she gets pregnant, and he's going, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, you should have kept your damn mouth shut. You jinxed yourself, buddy. That's all right, it's all good. Call her our surprise in life. Keeps you young though. So apparently, I was just talking to my brother. I thought I had ordered the right fluid. When I told the girl from Napa what the parts I wanted, I said, send me the fluid it takes, and she sent regular power steering fluid. And he was telling me it takes basically transmission fluid, Micron 5 it's called or something. So he went ahead and got that ordered. And what we're gonna do is before I put all this air intake crap back on, we're gonna fill it up, get all the air out of the system, and make sure it's not leaking anymore. Good to go. That is it. All right, the fluid just came in. It's a Micron 5. That's what goes in this, so don't put regular power steering fluid because it can mess your system up. And you know, maybe that's why these lines started leaking. Maybe somebody changed the fluid over the years and didn't know what they were putting in it. We'll go ahead and get this poured in, and I'll get it up high as I can. You know what? Let's turn some light on the situation. All right, let me get her cranked up, turn the wheel left and right, and hopefully no leaks. Once you hear that pump starting to whine, you knew that fluid's going through it. One thing about a diesel, it's a noisy bitch. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Look down inside there, we don't have any leaks at all. Looking good. Lines look good up here. So if you're doing this job at home and you hear whining like that on your pump, it takes a day or two to get air out of the system, especially with a Ford. Don't ask me why. That's just, I guess, a poor design, or that's just their design. I don't know, it just takes that long sometimes. Next step is to go ahead and put the breather box back in. You don't need to watch me do that. That was pretty much just reverse procedure on that. What does that mean? That means this job is done. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Catch you later.